What emoji would explain building cadence? A lot of people are doing AI, 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 AI. What is AI and how is it different for Cadence versus anybody else? None of the other people have the entire appraisal, ordering, and business valuation or any equipment valuation process in one place.
Cadence has.
Cadence has. One of my goals is that nobody will ever have to say, I am Cadence certified because it is so simple to use. It's a separate installation, so we don't commingle different banks' data and all that. And the data is on AWS, it is encrypted, it is secured. Data movement is all API encrypted base 256 encryption.
Welcome to Futurecraft Conversations at GTC. Global Tech Corporation GTC is a global technology holding company which is building scalable and smarter tech platforms in AI, big data, and digital infrastructure. Today is the very first episode of our podcast, and myself, Saira Khan. The aim and the goal of our podcast is very simple. It's actually to connect you with people and the thinking behind technologies shaping tomorrow, which means that we will be bringing in the people who are building in solutions that cut through daily pain points, redefine industries, and quietly set the stage for a promising future. Our aim is not around corporate jargons, rather it is about honesty, about real stories, practical stories, and a mix of creativity and grit that actually goes into building something real. And since it's a podcast, which means that, we will be laughing a little and, we will be actually stretching ideas more than a press release could ever do. So, expect a part playful, part serious, but exciting enough to look up to. We'll be bringing in people who are working on exponential technologies like AI, big data, automation from diverse backgrounds and sectors like digital lending, healthcare, fintech, even sports tech. But today we will start with lending because how money flows determines how faster everything else moves. And what better way to start than with a person who has actually lived inside, the systems of banks and finally thought to come up with a new approach. Our today's guest is Imran Riaz. Imran has spent decades across credit risk, lending operations and automation, and optimization as well. Imran has lived into the systems bankers depend on and has not only seen but actually felt their inefficiencies firsthand. He is the founder of Cadnz, an all-in-one digital lending platform which is positioned for US banks and credit unions. Welcome, Imran, and thank you for
very
joining
much.
in.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Great, perfect. So, how is life? And
Life is great. Enjoying the hot summer over here in Pakistan, so life is good.
so I feel it's not any hotter that much. The weather has gone pretty cool.
It's all relative, right? It's all relative, yeah. But
Perfect. Before we dive into the detailed conversation, just a quick one for you. Why Cadence? Why this name CADNZ?
honestly, Cadence, the word, was already taken by a bank and another software company. But I really liked it because cadence signifies the rhythm, the how we do things kind of thing. The what is the cadence of our operation? What is the cadence? So had to settle for CADNZ, but I was really attached to that whole concept of most of the software these days. They come in, they tell you how to do your business. We are changing that because we will let you automate and digitize your own cadence. You do the way you do it, we'll automate, digitize, and make it faster. So, hence the cadence.
Perfect. So that was basically the thought and the rhythm that you were actually hoping to set through with that chance and choice. Perfect. Let's rewind a bit, Imran. Back in days when you had not founded Cadence, you were deep into the trenches, credit roles, risk reviews, operational fixes. So just walk us through that journey. That what incidences or what kind of patterns kept on reemerging that really pushed you that this is not a people's problem, this is a systems problem, or is it a people plus systems problem? Just make a kind of Tuesday
Right.
morning
Yeah.
walk through
So
with us.
I'll give you a nickel tour of Imran,
Okay.
what made me who I am in the banking, and what were the things that forced me, literally forced me into coming up with Cadence. So worked in, I've worked in US banking for 40 years. So I started when I was 2. So if you need to calculate my age, you could actually do it very easily. I started as in underwriting and then moved on to commercial lending. I was a relationship manager and then moved on to the brighter side, the credit risk and risk management side, and rose up through the ranks. Throughout the process, there were couple of very, very common threads. Everybody's retyping the thing. The right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing. Everything is an emergency. Everything is a fire drill. Oh my God, we need to find the answer to this question, and everybody's running around. And then a lot of software came, a lot of software solutions were provided, and we implemented a whole bunch, and some were very good in moving us forward, and some were not so good. The common thread with majority of the solutions out in the market are that they are very good at ingesting the data, but they don't give you the information back. You have to wait for somebody to download the information into a separate data warehouse, and then they analyze it and send it back to you. By that time, it's history. It's not you're not able to make quick decisions based on data. That is what we want to change. That is what we are changing.
Perfect. So if a person who's not that much aware, I'm saying that from the audience perspective, if is not aware of the banking terminologies and all that. So if I frame that into 4 quick, bullets, and you can definitely expound upon
Yeah.
that the way you rightly said, that basically pain point is that you are retyping information into different systems, right?
Yep.
And because the data doesn't talk to each other,
Yep.
and it becomes error prone, right? And at the
Yep.
same time, it compromises the data quality as well
Yep.
and
Yep.
decision making as well.
Yep.
At the same time, the compliance checks, they come late, and as a
Yeah.
result of which, they make everything slow down,
Right.
right?
Right. Yep.
And similarly, there are other issues as well.
Yep.
So if you have to tell that what Cadence specifically is targeting, that is helping banks to spend more time with the clients, and to make the faster decisions, because definitely there could be more aspects related to the problem which Cadence is addressing. So I would like you to expound on that.
So the problem is, first of all, we are going to bring the entire bank together.
Yeah.
So what do I mean by that? So what happens is IT department has their own process and ticketing system and everything. And loan servicing has their own process and ticketing system and everything. And commercial lending does it differently. And then it goes to underwriting and they do it differently. Nothing is cohesive. Nothing is in a single platform.
It's fragmented.
It's fragmented. And we bring it all together.
Yeah.
So you type it once, it truly is going to be the one time that you type and it flows through everything. That's thing number one. Thing number two, when you are sitting in front of a customer, just imagine the power that I can look at my iPod, my phone, whatever, and I know everything about that customer's history. How long have they been a customer? What products? If there are any issues about the product. As a funny story I will tell you. When I was a loan officer, I was very excited to do a follow-up call after we closed on a loan. So follow-up call to a customer, very excited. I'm going to go see their CEO, and I was going to pitch some more products to them. So about a month after we closed the loan, I go there, and I'm all excited. Hey, good new customer. And the guy goes, well, I hate to tell you this, but we are moving our deposit banking to another bank. Huh? Didn't you know? We've been talking to your operations people for the past month and they keep messing it up. Because our systems did not talk to each other, they were writing notes in their call center and their servicing area, never made it to me, right? So a lot of people will say, well, broken process and all that. Emails, whatever. It's still not a 360 CRM. It is not telling me everything that happened to that customer. Just imagine, I'm sitting there and I'm learning for the first time that they're having so much problem. Those are the type of things that you need to address. And you mentioned compliance, right? So another thing is, compliance is not an afterthought. It is an integrated part of Cadence. So as you do things, compliance will get notified. Compliance will get to be part of the decision making if there are things that are wrong. Think about the power. As opposed to waiting till the end and then getting caught, they are part of the solution from day one, from beginning. Similarly, risk side and the business development side, they can be transparent and visible to each other. What is going on?
And numbers tell the same story. Like
Yep.
that customers are leaving, banks have
Yeah.
limited access to,
Yeah.
real-time analytics, problems in,
Yeah.
what you say, data quality. For example, 25% stats says that, 25% of customers say that they will move to or they're switching to other options because of better digital
Yep.
services. At the same time, 66% of the banks, they are facing data quality issues.
Yep.
83% are facing limited digital analytics and compliance, as you rightly said, that annually combined, if we
Yep.
the bank spending is more than $50 billion
Yep.
that they are putting in. And
Yep.
we understand that compliance is a very expensive matter.
Yep.
So when you hear all these numbers and stats, are they exaggerated one, or you think that it's a blunt truth that they are,
It is a blunt truth, plus it's, I think, understated because it is all reported. Again, if you look at the money spent on compliance, money spent on lending automation, money spent on, CRM, when you combine it all together, I venture to say that it'll reach a T with a trillion, right? Globally. The solutions that people are coming up with are very myopic. They focus on one thing. This is what we are going to do. So you mentioned the fintech part and why people are leaving. They, instead of staying with the current brick and mortar bank, they are now going to a fintech thing, right? So the fintech, as everybody knows, is a combination of finance and technology. The finance part is the banks, and technology part is obviously technology. So all these technology companies came up with these solutions, but to move money, they still need a bank. So they use the bank as their money mover. They use the bank's rails, money rails for ACH transfers or direct Zelle transfers or whatever. The problem with that is the fintech owns the customer. Bank does not have any information about the customer. Bank cannot data mine that customer. Bank cannot cross sell anything to that customer. That customer is the ownership of the fintech, the tech company. How will I grow my brand as a brick and mortar bank? How do I serve my customer? They have been my customer for 30 years, but now they're going to leave because I am not providing them with the solutions, right? So, with all of that in mind, it is not just about lending, it is being there for the customer, knowing what they want, knowing their needs, predicting, not looking back, looking forward. What are their needs? For example, if a bank has a student loan program and your CRM system knows that you're going to, Mr. X, his daughter is turning 18, going to go to college. Wouldn't that be an awesome time to send them a little note? Hey, congrats. Here is our student loan process and student loan program. What a wonderful thing we can do. As a matter of fact, if you don't want to take a loan, we looked, you have 100,000 in equity in your house. You could get a home equity loan to finance this. We are here for you, right? All of that will be possible if there is a unified data, if it is a single source of truth or marketing or everything, because by the time the data gets to marketing in the current world ecosystems, by the time the data gets to the data marts and all that, and then makes its way back to the decision makers, it's too late. Somebody else took care of that. That is what we are trying to solve. That is the thing that we are trying to change, the thought process.
Perfect. You encapsulated it very well. But still, I would like to further talk about the solution part Cadence is offering, because it's great that you are providing a solution to the fragmentation within the banking ecosystem. Plus, Cadence, for example, captures the data at once. You can use it everywhere. The documents come validated, clean, right? Compliance and customer relationship, they can live into the same process flow. And then the single source of truth you talk about, and how it is creating opportunities for the banks to upsell and resell, right? That's beautifully explained. But let's talk about, because I understand there are other aspects to it. Like I would like you to talk about the CRM part, and especially that Z file concept. We have been talking about, Cadence, and how it actually feels and looks different from rest of the players, expensive options, which banks already know. So how Cadence is different from them, and why, banks should consider it.
Yeah, so Z file, for example, I originally wanted to call it E file, but that's like filing the IRS taxes. So I changed it to Z file, to play on the word the files, Z files. But it is a AI-driven solution for us that knows the customer, knows their loans, knows their history, and it basically takes the document that the customer sent us and automatically files it. So it becomes an electronic file for documents. You file it once. So, for example, if you guarantee 5 different companies' loans, you don't have to file it 5 different times. You send it once, and it is placed in the proper place and available to people based on their rights, user rights. If they have the right to see something or not. The other thing that is amazing is that the users, the customers, can upload their documents on the client portal. When they upload the documents, it automatically gets processed and put in the proper file, right? It's a different thing. A lot of people are doing AI. What is AI and how is it different for Cadence versus anybody else? So if you go to Moody's, if you go to S&P site, Encino's site, you go to any of our other competitors' sites, they would all say, oh, you can use the AI to process your financial statements that your customer sent, and boom, it's going to be done. And way at the bottom, there is a small asterisk that says only the original native PDF files. So if it's a scanned document, good luck, right? And guess what? Reality is 80% of the documents that the customers send are scanned documents. They are not native PDF documents. So our process is a AI-based process. It's not just optical character recognition, the OCR. It is a smart processing. It reads, reconciles, spreads the statement. None of the competitors would actually read the footnotes of financial statements. We read the footnotes. So much more powerful. Another thing, none of the competitors would talk about other things that help, like the rent rolls. If you're doing a real estate underwriting, a rent roll could be 250 customers. So now the analyst is sitting there and typing 250 times what the thing. With us, OCR process, it'll summarize it, done. 2 minutes, stops. Same thing with insurance. What happens is every bank has a team of insurance clerks that they send the client will send the insurance information that my property is insured and what are the requirements. And then they actually go there and they'll key in the new information and then move the tickler forward and all that. With us, it's AI based. They send the information, we read, we update, we move the tickler forward, right? See the number of opportunities within this process that I've just mentioned. None of the other people even are thinking about it. Our document generation is within the system. You don't have to program another Microsoft Office or something else that the data will then move to that side. And then if you updated something over here, now you have to restart the process. Not an issue with us. It'll tell you, hey, some data got updated, click the button, it'll update. Approval process, everything is within the system. But most importantly, let's talk about why Cadence, right? A relationship manager, his or her job, highest and best use is to be in front of the customers, selling, bringing in business. If they are tied to the chair because they have to type in and fill out all these things, not going to happen. With Cadence, they are driving back from their sales call. They pick their phone up and they dictate a file comment. It'll get properly filed, transcribed into the file. They took some notes over there. Take the camera, click. It will take care of the things. Transcribes, file it properly, right? None of the other people have the entire appraisal, ordering, and business valuation or any equipment valuation process in one place.
Cadence has.
Cadence has. Now, why does it make a difference? Because all of that information is in one place. One of the common requests or needs is to consolidate all this data, which is sitting in all these different places. They are in different formats. They are in different, digital stages. All of that is combined by Cadence, the processing. So it's not just for the, which is a common thing that, just make the lenders happy and everybody else will have to follow. We are taking care of the entire process. Backlog for credit underwriting department or appraisal department or loan servicing department is where? On Cadence. So if you are doing something, whoever needs to know will know, right? You have projects in the bank. For example, you had a regulator come in and they found some things that you need to fix. Now that needs to be tracked. And guess what? These days, even the largest of the banks, there would be a guy with an Excel spreadsheet that'll go from place to place, updating it. And by the time that poor guy is done collating all the information, it's history. And then the poor guy starts the next month's round. The workflow management, the task management configurable processes allow you to do it all within Cadence. It's not just talk, come see it.
Perfect. So basically, it's less hunting,
Yep.
fewer delays, and in fact, maybe no delays, and no missing wires,
Correct.
resulting in smarter origination, faster decisions,
Yep.
and streamlined processes.
Yep.
And a unified platform in the shape of Cadence is actually offering
Yep.
this whole thing. I remember one of the early days in which you shared a document with the team, and whereby the lending process was called a drama. And I still remember it actually makes a lot of sense because relationship managers, they are chasing clients, as you rightly said,
Yep.
and underwriters are demanding files. Compliance officers, they're actually getting with a lot of surprises as well. So if Cadence were a Broadway play, what title would it be? And in your opinion, which will be the character which will steal the show always? Rightly, for the wrong reasons.
Wow, I did not think of a drama name. So I'll park that and I'll come back to that.
Okay, perfect.
But the problem is lending, there are prima donnas. Sorry, lenders, I was one, so I can call you that. And then there are everybody else who's in the support structure, right? But that's not true. A loan officer by themselves cannot originate a loan. You need the underwriting team. You need the loan servicing team. You need the loan review team. So on and so forth. If we do not take care of them in the sense of improving efficiencies and bringing in changes to how things are done, the whole process is not going to get fast, right? I went to a bank, I will not name the bank, and I was the chief credit officer. And it used to take almost 3 months to underwrite a deal.
Gotcha.
3 months to underwrite a real estate deal. And in about 8, 9 months, I had automated the process that we were underwriting the deal in 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks. Any deal. Better underwriting, better understanding, better portfolio analytics, amount of time saved. We grew the portfolio like 15% without adding anything to the staff. Those are the efficiencies that I'm talking about. Now, you mentioned the drama.
Yeah.
So think about it. There are so many different characters. Like I mentioned, the players, the underwriters, the loan officers. They don't necessarily all work for the same boss. Ultimately, they all work for the CEO of the bank, but they have different reporting lines for controls and governance and all that thing. Their motivation is not always aligned, right? Because they have all different systems. It's not visible or transparent to one side what the other side is doing. So the document that I wrote was a drama called Lending to introduce all different characters, what their personas are, to really understand what makes an underwriter tick. What are their needs? What does a portfolio manager need? What does a CLA, commercial lending assistant, needs? What does the RM need? Now, nowadays, the relationship managers are generally they have an MBA or something like that, and they are okay with the computers. It used to be the time when the RMs used to be, gray-haired guys. I hate technology. The senior lenders, even today in different banks, are the same way. I hate technology. How can we make it so they don't have to rely or see this process as a new technological change, right? One of the things that we are very, very focused on is the return on investment for the bank, for the institution. Having done it myself many times, The vendor tells you that you're going to be up and running in 6 to 12 months. And 3 years later, you're still trying to work the kinks out and get the things done. Our claim is we'll get you up and running in 120 days. What type of funny cigarettes am I smoking? Right? They are taking 12 months to a year. 12 months to 18 months. And I am doing it 120 days. We have configured, designed the system. That configuration is adaptability is very simplified. Plus, we give you a set of working processes, a set of working best in class documentation, best in class systems, memos, formats, all that. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, right? One of my goals is that nobody will ever have to say, I am Cadence certified, because it is so simple to use. People get certified in Encino. They spend 3 months in this, and oh, I am Salesforce certified, and I am this certified. I don't want that. I want an average Joe to be able to do their work. I want a person, you know, to maintain a system like, for example, Encino, you need almost 40, 50 people department to run it and maintain it because it is based on Salesforce and it's very cumbersome. Where are the savings? You just moved it from one side of the basket, which was, oh, your operations in lending and everything will be different, all the way to now these are all the people who will configure and maintain your system. Where are the savings?
And actually, you have touched the point where I was going to frame my next question.
Yeah.
That say if a bank, says that we want to, get the services from Cadence, or we want to have Cadence into our system, what key critical matrices you are actually offering? As you said that you have a lot of focus in terms of ROI and all that. And plus, I have framed the questions around 90 days, but you said it's 120 days. So if a bank starts to, from Monday, so what are the steps or the three critical phrases in which you can say that, okay, this, and you're onboarded. So 2 questions. What are the key critical matrices that banks can say, yeah, Cadence is working? And number 2, that how quickly in 120 days, in 3 phrases, they can, take Cadence on board.
So the number one criteria, litmus test for any software is if the loan officers start using the system. Prima donnas, like I said, sorry guys. If they start using the system, you've done well. Number one.
Okay.
So the ease of adaptation. Cadence thinks, walks, quacks like a loan officer. So it's easy. It comes as a natural thing. You don't have to retrain yourself. Okay, I'm going to click this button and something will happen and whatever. That's thing number one. Thing number 2 is you will start getting your portfolio reports, portfolio information right off the bat. So a litmus test, if you would, kind of litmus test, is when people start using the expression, hey, did you check Cadence to update? I don't have to go to 17 different systems. I just go to Cadence and it gives me the answer. That's a litmus test. Why would I be different? Why are we different then? We have thought through the pains of integration. So we will go and learn from the bank. The basic thing of data integration, we'll take care of it, right? It's easy. Here are your codes, your system codes, boom, done. Now the processes, right? So instead of giving you a clean slate, design whatever you want to design, we give you a very well thought out, compliant, regulatory compliant system, workflow. which is very convenient to tailor to your needs. You won't have to design the whole thing. You know, the old saying that camel is a horse designed by a committee.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually sit in a meeting in a corporate world, changing the font on a piece of paper will require a 20% committee.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will have a committee to have a committee.
Mm-hmm.
And we give you, here is the process. You want to tailor a C&I, commercial and industrial process one way, and commercial real estate process another way, and small business another way. Go nuts. It's easy to fix it, or it's easy to tailor it to your needs without being a rocket scientist, than to actually have to sit there at first spend time in visualizing the things and then meeting with the people, and you know, just a credit approval memo, I guarantee you, would start fights right and left. No, I want this on the first page. No, I want that on the first page. We take care of all of that. We give you a thing. If some person in some area wants it tailored differently, so you will get a different version.
So basically, what you have said that definitely you have brought in the convenience factor, the ease into the platform and all that. But as a result, it's actually creating a lot of increase and a lot of enhancement in terms of employees' productivity. They are getting more time saved to spend on the customer relationships and to fast track their thing and all that.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of time saving and a lot of enhancement on the productivity side, and ultimately resulting in the ROI aspect as
Right.
well. Okay, now we will dive into a kind of scenario lab. For sure, you have explained everything, but just as a part of our podcast,
Right.
we throw kind of scenario.
Yeah.
So, for example, and you have to tell that actually what highlighted the issue, who fixed it, and where did the record actually go after that. So, for example, there is a bank who has provided finance to a construction company, and maybe they are building houses and all that.
Yeah.
And middle of the way, there is a budget change. Constructor needs more money, either for labor or material and all
Yeah.
that. And one of the tax return is missing. The relationship manager is traveling, is in vacations maybe.
Yeah.
And for example, vendor reference is buried into the emails.
Yeah.
So how Cadence actually manages this chaos in this situation?
So construction monitoring usually is outside of the entire process because you have a special software that banks use to monitor construction lending. By the way, hint, hint, it's integrated within Cadence.
Okay.
Loan officer is on the road, something happened. First of all, loan officer will get notified no matter where they are. They'll get a bing on their phone. Hey, something is up. Secondly, you would not find out on the 11th hour that a tax return is needed. The system will keep reminding the customer, hey, your tax return is required. Your tax return is required. And so, squeaky wheel. So once you keep reminding them, they will give it to you. Thing number one. Thing number two is because the information is not siloed, anybody else stepping in, let's say the loan officer won a prize and is on a cruise ship and there are no phones over there, right? So the person picking up that thing, stepping in for them, will go to one place and it'll know exactly what is going on. The construction monitoring, because it is being done within the system, it will keep prompting if there are any deviations prior to it being too late, right? Any change orders, anything things like that would be coming in automatically through the vendor portal, real time. So it'll make life easy that way. The question I think that you're trying to ask, if I could read into your mind, is everybody talks about we can smooth and we can streamline and we can do all of these things. Why are we different? Right? One of the things is that the vendor, the construction person, general contractor, the relationship manager, the borrower can all have a conversation within our systems. They can send messages to each other within our system. Obviously, it is protected from the who has the rights to see what, role-based access, but it is within the system. So people know what's going on, where the change order, what is, right? Um, so from data makes life easier. But remember way back when I said that the best, highest, and best use for a relationship manager is to be out in front of the customer, right? Because you have so much time, you will actually spend more time with the customer. Be in front of them. Visit.
Perfect. And since we are talking about data, and when the data comes, automatically the next thing that clicks is data privacy and the security of data. So, how secure Cadence is as a solution, especially keeping in view the overregulated banking industry?
Right. So each bank has their own pod. It's a separate installation, so we don't commingle different banks' data and all that. And the data is on AWS, it is encrypted, it is secured. Data movement is all API encrypted base, 256 encryption. So data is very secure. We do comply with SOC 2. We do pen testing, we do all sorts of things. So, and most of the data that is going to move between the bank and the client is going to be through the client portal. So it's not email that somebody can sniff or anything. It's client portal, so it's safe.
So it's a 360-degree solution, which is covering all the tangents and all the pain points, which is a great news. And now we will, we are actually heading towards the end of the podcast, but there is a section which wasn't revealed prior we were setting up this podcast, and it's called rapid fire. And there is a penalty as well. In case you don't respond rapidly, then you would have to have a sip, not in fact sip, a shot of black coffee.
Okay.
And okay, we have the questions and we have the coffee shots as well.
Holy moly. How many questions do you have?
We have so many questions, but
And if I answer the question very correctly, then you do the shot, right?
no. Host is actually
Well, that's not how it works.
it.
If you are trying to copy the hot wings eating thing, then all right. Anyway, let's go.
Maybe we can do this rule second time.
Yeah.
We have this podcast. Okay, so you have to respond quickly, and in case you don't, you think a lot, then you have to have a shot, right? Spreadsheets and 2025. What's your comment on that?
History should not be there. Cadence, you would not need it.
Okay. First thing, banks should modernize.
Customer experience.
Customer experience. I think maybe all the coffee shots will be either wasted or somebody else has to take it. Okay, most underrated control.
Governance.
Governance. Okay. What never gets automated?
People.
People. Okay. If you were not building Cadence, what career would you pick today?
Wow. So, quickly answer this thing. Banking is the best career ever. Banking is the best career ever. It's all about people, and you get to use both sides of your brain because it's analytical, it's data, it's finance. So, right and left brain, best place to work. Now, the industry is changing. Notwithstanding that, there will always be a bank. You will always need a banker.
I guess this was a long answer,
Cheers.
but you have to take the shot. Coffee shot.
L'chaim.
Here you go. Okay. One thing you wish bankers would stop saying.
Our customers are different than yours.
Okay. Most overused word in fintech.
Fintech.
Fintech. Okay. Um, what's harder, pitching to bankers or explaining your job to family at a dinner table?
Pitching to bankers.
Pitching to bankers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Because there is a saying that community bankers always rush to be the third in line.
Okay. Okay. Favorite productivity hack.
Favorite productivity hack. Wow, there are so many. There are so many. Be lazy. Because when you're lazy, you come up with solutions.
Okay. I hope people take the laziness in that productive way.
Right.
The most boring word in banking.
Most boring word in banking. It's always whenever you ask a question, the answer is it depends. So
Okay.
boring word is going to be it
It
depends.
depends. Okay. The most dramatic phrase you have ever heard in a credit meeting.
He is a good guy. We should give them the loan.
Okay. If bankers had a superpower, what would it be?
If the bankers had a superpower, what would be? The credit memo gets produced automatically.
Okay. Biggest villain in the lending industry.
Biggest villain in the lending industry are the lenders themselves.
They're the
No,
lenders
yeah,
themselves.
because you find so many banks getting fined for doing wrong things. Nobody asks them to do the wrong thing. So they get fined because they misbehaved, right?
Okay. If you had to explain cadence to a 10-year-old, how would you do it?
Fun. It is fun. It will let you do what you want to do more productively, and it will not tie you to a particular post, particular place. Roam around. This is 2025 and beyond. You can work from anywhere. You can accomplish all that you need to accomplish from anywhere.
Okay.
Most importantly, it's fun.
That's fun. Okay. If you could teleport cadence into one bank tomorrow, which size would you choose? Big or small or mid-size?
Mid-size regional bank, because big boys like the BFAs and the cities of the world, they will claim that we got our own stuff. Knowing well, please don't hate me, knowing well that they do not have the solutions. How does one make that statement? Just look at their job postings. Every day, same job posting, and they still don't have the data. Except for BFA, they're doing a very good job. JP Morgan Chase, good job. But my focus would be mid-sized banks.
One small emoji that sums up building cadence. We will get to display it, but you would have to tell which emoji.
What emoji would explain building cadence? Uh,
Okay. I was expecting other way around. That's okay. If cadence had a theme song, what would it be?
it's a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong.
Okay. And one last question. If banking would have to be a sport, which sport it would be and what role cadence would play on the field?
If banking was a sport, well, I mean, this is it's a team sport, so pick any team, be it a cricket or soccer or football or anything. It'll be a team sport of some sort. Banking would be, and the role that Cadence will play is you don't have to worry about all the admin stuff that are the balls going to be there? Is the field going to be ready? Are the crowd going to be there? Cadence will be the facilitator.
Perfect. It was pleasure having you today. We had a lot of fun
Yeah.
and a lot of deep insight into what cadence is and how it is, different from the competitors and what value add it can bring to the market. Thank you so very much for being our first guest. And
Pleasure.
if you want to explore Cadence, do visit cadence.com, cadnz.com, and you will, get an opportunity to have a 15 minutes walkthrough. And myself, Sarek Balkhan, see you in the next episode.